30 minutes early for the stream. Lock in. See if I can find it. I don't think we're at the trial yet, are we? Let me see. I don't think we're at the trial yet. No, we are at the trial. Ooh. I've been thinking about this. Who I think did what. And let me see what I sound like real quick. Okay. We locked. Alright. 1.5K? What? I'm sliding with the momentum right now. That's what's up. Put my sign on my door. There we go. So, right now, what we know is, let me look at the, can I look at everything from here? I can't. Alright, it's probably going to be the next one. March 22nd, 9:47 a.m. So I'm guessing the court time starts at 10. District Court, Defendant Lobby, number 3. Hold on, let me go. Let's look at what we got. So, my prime suspects for who actually killed Juan Corrida, I'm thinking it's got to be either Matt, Adrian, or Will. Those are my top 3 candidates right now for who could have done it. I still feel like it could be Will because Will is supposed to be Matt's mentor, right? That's what he said. Now, he could have been saying it as a joke, but that's what he said. And I'm thinking because of his association with the previous murder from the other from Global Studios, I just kind of feel like, hey, what if he's a part of, he's got a twofer and he's actually smarter than I think he is, right? Matt, on the other hand, he seems kind of oblivious to everything going on. Now, we've been able to associate with some of his plans with his manager right here, right? Because she seems really smart. But he's so disassociated from reality that I can't help but think that, like, either he's got, like, an alternate personality or he's, like, playing a facade. Like, it's hard to imagine he is that oblivious. But maybe Juan was like that too. Juan, because I think they were friends, but you know they might not be. Wild card suspect as to who could have done it. Lotta, because she was at the scene apparently. So who knows? But yeah. Hold on. Let me look at the evidence that we have too, so I can remember. Get like a little refresher course. Ticket. I don't know what that's important for. I guess you said there's like a ceremony. The ceremony say so. Okay, that's probably gonna be like in case someone needs an alibi or something. This is the transcriber for the guy who has Maya kidnapped, but she escaped using a card. The same card, by the way, the same card that Adrian had. She was playing with. Got a suicide report about Celeste. Body was found by Juan. We got an attempted suicide report from Adrian, who was shocked from Celeste Impact's death. She was actually the mentor of Adrian at one point. This is the crime photo of Juan's murder. And that knife right there was on guard's bedroom while they were eating. There's one of the utensils that was missing. I caught that, okay? This is the guitar case, but the guitar case is missing the guitar. So possibly the guitar could be a murder weapon. It could be a guitar and a sword. You know, that was another thing I was thinking about. Also, there was a wine glass in Juan's room that was full. No one had drank from it. It had tomato juice. Juan loves tomato juice and he didn't drink it. So it must have been a drink for two. We got this magazine clipping suggesting that Juan and Adrian are together. So, or like, could be together, you know what I mean? Because of a scandal with her being on guard's manager and then talking to Juan, who's his rival. And then we got Lotta's camera. We don't know where her camera is, but if we find it, it has a picture of another picture of what happened. So we have to find the camera. Old Bag might have her camera. Or Adrian has it. Someone has her camera. And when we find out who has her camera, I think that'll be our murderer. I'm thinking. Alright, let's get to reading. Let me get some water too. keep everything fresh. I like this music in the background too while I was doing a little recap of everything. Adrian did it. That's what it looks like. Dude, no way. That woman couldn't do anything like that. In court today, there will be a mountain of evidence that will implicate you. Mountain of evidence. I'm certain there is someone out there trying very hard to pin this whole thing on you. Please, Mr. Lawyer. Dude, like I said yesterday, I'm refreshing like a spring breeze, alright? I can't let any sort of scandal ruin that. I understand. Well, it's almost time. Oh shit, Mia. You must get a complete acquittal today. I know. But I can't focus on Maya's situation right now. Or Pearl's either. No matter what, I have to focus on winning this case by the end of the day. Indeed. Well, let's get going. It's him. This is Wright. Good morning. This is it, Mr. Attorney. The day of the trial. Maya. She's unharmed, right? Well, when I checked on her earlier this morning, she seemed a bit, shall we say, tired. Don't worry, people don't die that easily. Besides, what you really should be concentrating on is winning today's trial. For my sake, as well as yours, you must win today's trial. Which is why I sent a little present this morning. Present? What in the world do you want to give me? You'll figure it out once the trial starts. And even if you don't like my gift, I expect you to graciously accept it and win the day's contest, if you please. Wait! Kidnapper sent me a present. You know what was weird about that? He already told us his name. Why did it say question mark, question mark, question mark if we already know his name? We don't have his profile though. I'm surprised we didn't get the profile of the bellboy. That's weird. Mr. Lawyer dude. Who was that? So it wasn't on guard on the phone, that's for sure. No one. It was nothing to you, or it has nothing to do with you. So forget you heard anything. Dude, did your nose just get longer? Oh, he knows you're lying. Interesting. He's a little bit more clever than we thought he was. I picked up on that. Where the fuck is my opponent? Court is now in session for the trial of Matt Ungard. Are the prosecution and defense ready? The defense is ready, Your Honor. I say, Mr. Wright, what happened to Miss Von Karma? I don't know, Your Honor. Why are you getting mad at me? Your Honor. Please be quiet, bailiff. Court is in session. If you must tell me something, please keep it brief. Now then, what is it? Prosecutor. Prosecutor Von Karma has... This morning, Miss Von Karma was shot by an unknown gunman. What? Shot? Somehow. I think this is the present that man was talking about. His present? Miss Von Karma is one of the top prosecutors in the country at the moment. If she were to disappear, it would be your advantage. This is totally insane. Miss Von Karma, is she alright? I don't have that answer. She's alive in a stable condition. That's good. Yeah. I thought... Your Honor, due to the circumstances, Miss Francisca Von Karma cannot appear in court today. I, Miles Edgeworth, will be taking her place. The prosecution is ready. Naturally. Talk your shit, Edgeworth. This man got an entrance theme and everything, bro. Where the power at? Miss Von Karma was shot in her right shoulder and is currently undergoing surgery. Luckily, I have looked this case over and I am familiar with the details. Prosecution seeks to prove the guilt of Master Matt Ungard. The court acknowledges the prosecution is right. I finally found the answer I was struggling for on my long journey this past year. By the time this case comes to an end, you too will know the answer. Now then, the prosecution would like to call its first witness. Please bring Detective Gumshoe to the witness stand. What are you sad about? My karma's out of the picture, bro. You don't gotta get whipped anymore. Aren't you happy? She did get shot, but that's pretty fucking nuts. Witness, your name and occupation.
My name is Dick Gumshoe, sir. I'm a detective down at the precinct. For now.
For now?
After this trial's over, I'm supposed to turn in my badge, sir.
Detective Gumshoe. Prosecution has no need for a depressed witness. Lift your head up and face forward like a proud officer, Detective Dick Gumshoe.
Yes, sir.
Now, let's have your testimony. If we want to explore the various facets of this case, we must start with that. Get ready, Phoenix. This is going to be one very rough fight. Yeah, it would have to be with Edgeworth as my opponent. The answer he was struggling for. Interesting. Show me this answer you finally found, Edgeworth. Bum bum dum 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 dum. Bum bum dum bum dum bum dum dum. Beware the bear the facts of the case. Whoops.
This murder happened after the Hero of Heroes award ceremony, sir. The victim, Juan Corda, was found dead in his hotel room. After looking into the cause of death, we believe he was definitely murdered, sir. At first we thought there was something suspicious about the empty guitar case. However, we later found out that the guitar case had nothing to do with the murder.
After the award ceremony ended, the victim was alone in his room?
Yes, sir. Both the victim and the defendant went alone to their rooms, sir.
I see. Mr. Wright, you may begin your cross-examination. So, with him saying that the guitar had nothing to do with this case, then it most certainly has something to do with this case. I can only assume that.
This murder happened after the Hero of Heroes award ceremony, sir.
Alright, let's press him on that. But Karma's not here to beat me, so I can just keep doing what I do. Would you please give us a brief timeline of what happened after the ceremony? Okay, this is good. I like this question.
Okay, pal. The ceremony started at 6 p.m.
Okay. Let me look at the court record real quick. What was the time of death for Juan? Oh, we don't have an autopsy yet. Okay. That's probably what we're going to get.
It ended around 8 p.m., and then there was a short break. A special post-ceremony show was supposed to start in the lobby 30 minutes later.
And that's when the victim's body was found, correct? Which is to say the murder occurred during that 30-minute break period. Please continue with your testimony, Detective.
The victim, Juan Corda, was found dead in his hotel room.
Okay. The person who discovered the victim's body was Adrian Andrews, correct?
Yeah.
Who is Adrian Andrews? Who is this Adrian Andrews you're talking about?
She's the defendant back on guard's manager. She's a really pretty lady, sir.
Ah, so she's a pretty lady. I wonder if she'll grace us with her presence.
When the post-ceremony show was about to start, she went to get Mr. Ungard.
After visiting her room,
After visiting her room, she next went to the victim's room to get him for the show, sir.
I see. And that's when she found the victim's body?
After looking into the cause of death, we believe he was definitely murdered, sir.
Okay. The cause of death, wasn't that because Mr. Corda was stabbed in the chest?
Only a careless amateur would believe something as so brainless as that, pal. Take a good look, hard look at the crime photo. Now a real pro's attention would be drawn here, to this bandana.
Bandana. Oh, he said banana.
His bandana, sir. The thing wrapped around.
Oh, no. He did say. Okay. That whole thing confused. I think one of them did say banana, and that threw me off really badly. Damn. Okay. Let me relock in.
His bandana, sir. That's the thing wrapped tightly around his head or his neck.
Yes. I see his bandana scented. His banana scented bandana. Hold on. Let me see what's going on. That's why it looks so weird. Okay. Because when I saw the knife there, it didn't really go anywhere near far enough to kill him, right? So I knew it wasn't that, so I assumed it was like the guitar was actually a sword or something. He got strangled. That's crazy. Were they doing some foreplay or something? Maybe he was getting choked and he was trying to fight and they knocked something over the base. But why did the tomato, because this glass of tomato juice not fall and everything else did? That's the part that doesn't make sense. If there was a struggle, how did that not fall? That might be something that comes up later. And what about the knife?
It seems to have been stuck in the victim's chest on purpose after his death.
So the person trying to pin the murder on Matt did not kill freaking, didn't kill Juan, but they wanted to make sure that he could be pinned to the crime. That's what I'm thinking now. But while I'm saying that, what if Matt did do it, but he was going to get away with it, and Adrian wanted to make sure he didn't get away with it, so she put something that had his fingerprints on it, on Juan. But if he's the one who stabbed him, right? Let's say if she did stab him, I'm assuming here. She did stab him. How would her fingerprints not be on the knife too? Also, they found something on him, a button, that kind of proved that he did it, right? And I see the button that's missing. I just realized it. If you look at his clothing, it looks like there's supposed to be 4 circles, 2 on the chest, or each of his pecs, and then 2 on his abdominal. But there's only 1 up top, and 1's missing. You can, I don't know, I didn't pick up on that the first time I looked, but I see it now.
We have a crafty murderer on our hands here.
So Juan's autopsy report, time of death 8:15, caused strangle with a scarf, then stabbed with a knife.
At first we thought there was something suspicious about empty guitar case.
Alright. And why did you think that?
Because it was empty, pal. The Jammin' Ninja doesn't go anywhere without his bright red guitar. And he couldn't find it anywhere at the scene of the crime.
Oh? Then how about this theory? A fan really wanted the guitar and did the crime to get it. How's that?
We thought of that too, but
the
only fingerprints on the guitar case were the victims.
Only the victims, huh? I mean, maybe he opened the guitar case and then they took it? Or someone took it? I just don't get why it would be missing. I mean, he could have easily forgot it, but I don't even know if he had his guitar during the ceremony. When they were showing off the different characters. Like, I wonder if he lost simply because he didn't have his guitar. That'd be funny. He just happened to forget. What if Matt got upset because Juan forgot his guitar and killed him because they didn't get to be rivals or whatever? Because he didn't take the rivalry as serious as he did, so he killed him. I didn't think it was a worthy opponent anymore. That'd be crazy. On the victims, huh? I see. So much for my theory then. Guitar case empty. There is some water, but only on the top of the lid. Bears Corrida's fingerprints.
However, we later found out that the guitar case had nothing to do with the murder.
What convinced you it had nothing to do with the case?
The guitar case wasn't at the Gatewater Hotel that night.
Well, then where was it?
The private guitar was eventually found at the TV studio.
Ooh, okay.
The Denwalk Quarter had apparently only taken the case with him, sir.
So you mean he forgot to put the guitar inside the case?
Yes, sir. Even when he was on stage for the ceremony, he didn't have his guitar.
I was just asking that. Okay, good. I'm glad I'm getting my questions answered as we go. So the guitar case was empty even before he got to the hotel.
Yeah, that's right. So really had nothing to do with the case after all.
I believe that is enough. First victim was choked to death with his bandana. Then, after the victim was dead, the killer deliberately stabbed him with a knife. Which brings me to my next point. Why then did the police arrest Mattengard? Because there was a reason enough to suspect him. Here it comes. The Edwards back in full swing. Very well, Detective Gumshoe, please testify about this matter.
Yes, sir.
So all I had to do was press for that one. Now, am I going to have to present something on this one based on the new evidence that I have? I don't think Gumshoe is going to get anything wrong about the details, but perhaps pressing him could get Edwards to reconsider something. I don't know. We'll see. Why arrest Ungard?
Mattengard and Juan Corrida, I can't say his name, were huge rivals with each other. They each thought the other guy was in his way. That's motive enough in my book. As for evidence, there's the Jammin' Ninja's button.
There it is. And it's got blood on it too.
It was ripped off the Jammin' Ninja's costume and found in Mr. Ungard's hakama. The defendant's fingerprints were also all over the knife. The defendant bought the knife for the crime, which makes this a premeditated murder.
Okay, something to think about here. Got strangled. Also, they were both in costume. I guess Ungard wouldn't need to take off the costume because he was getting ready for the stage show. Why would he take off the costume, right? So I guess this is why he still had it on. But Juan had his mask off, so I guess he was about to drink some tomato juice. Maybe he was drinking tomato juice because he was sad about losing. And then he was about to drink a whole nother glass, and that's why that one was full. It wasn't for two people, it was actually just another one for him. I don't know.
So the defendant's fingerprints were found on the knife used in the stabbing. It was sort of sticky on the handle, so the fingerprints came out pretty clearly, sir.
Knife bears the victim's blood and Ungard's fingerprints in the grip. Gatewater is engraved.
And there was this button.
This one was found in the defendant's clothes, was it? Is this button also covered in blood?
Yes, and we know that the blood on it is the victim's blood, sir.
What? Okay. Jammin' Ninja's button was ripped off of his costume, covered in Corrida's blood, found in Ungard's hakama.
All of this points very clearly to the defendant, doesn't it?
Yes, it most certainly does, Your Honor. Ready to give in yet, Wright? I'll find a hole in your argument somehow. You can press as hard as you'd like. Just hurry up with your usual pointless questions. I arrest Ungard. Alright, here we go. Time to press him. I'll go ahead and save real quick. Matt Guard and Juan Corda were huge rivals with each other. I didn't press it. Whoops, let me go back. Press that first part. But in terms of popularity, Mr. Guard won, did he not?
Yeah, but, you know, what's ironic, pal? Juan Corda was always one step behind Mr. Guard in everything. This year it seemed like he'd finally caught up, ready for the big final showdown.
Well, Mr. Corda lost the Grand Prix in the end. That is too bad. He must have been pretty downhearted after losing. Remember to do those dots and hmms and pauses and stuff? It feels like I need to pay attention to whatever detail was just stated. Each thought the other guy was in his way. That's motive enough in my book. Okay. Wait just a second here. Mr. Guard was beating Mr. Corda in the popularity polls.
Well, yeah, I guess, but...
Which means that in the defendant's eyes, the victim was not a rival at all. Which means he had no motive to kill at all. That's what I was saying when we started this case. Yes, I quite agree. With Detective,
It's not, well... I guess if you put it that way, then yeah, the defendant would have had no motive.
Detective, I'm beginning to see why you were fired.
No, not you too, Mr. Edgeworth, sir.
I look forward to your pension negotiations. How is he getting another pension negotiation if he's fired?
No!
Now, Detective, let's continue with the testimony.
No, not my poor pension too.
Detective, if you value your money, I suggest you proceed.
Yes, sir. We can talk about pension later, sir.
What about what I was saying? Hello, anyone? As for the evidence, there's the Jam and Ninjas button. Okay. Do you have any proof that button belonged to the victim?
Huh? What do you mean, pal?
Let me put it this way. I'm asking you if you have any evidence to back up your claim that this button was ripped off of the Jam and Ninjas costume. I mean, to be fair, it may have just fell off. And maybe Juan was trying to put it back on. You know? Not that that's important, but, just throwing it out there. And parts of my clothes fall off sometimes.
Huh? But can't you tell just by looking at it? And the victim's blood is on it.
Anyone could have smeared the blood on there afterward.
Mr. Edgeworth, help me, sir.
Alright, I knew it had to be this piece of evidence. Now, reel this one in. Thread. Huh? The button was attached to the costume by thread, obviously. And that thread snapped when the button was torn off. If you matched up the ends of the thread on the costume with the thread of the button, it's a perfect match.
Yeah, that's it. They're a perfect match, pal.
Right. That's Edgeworth for you. Never misses a beat.
It was ripped off.
Or it was ripped off of the ninja costume and was found in Mr. Guard's Hakama. Oh. Go back. When was this button found?
Pretty soon after the body was found. We rounded up everyone who knew Mr. Corda. And then we did a search on them all. That's when we found the button.
So it was almost immediately after the murder. In the circus thing that we did, the last trial, we got to meet all the different circus acts at the circus, right? We got to meet everybody involved in the case. Not just, the main suspect. We had like a bunch of side pieces too, We didn't meet anybody who was at the ceremony other than Matt. We didn't really get. We saw Will, but he wasn't on stage. We didn't get to talk to Juan because he died, but there were other samurai or whatever, you know, performers there too, actors and etc. And we didn't get to talk to any of them about what happened. What if one of them did it? You know, I know Matt's a prime suspect, but you telling me not a single one of the other guys could have done it just because, you know? But hey, I'm sure we would have heard something about it, I guess.
So it was almost immediately after the murder.
The police didn't have the free time to lollygag and play tricks, unlike some people. Hey, what are you trying to say about me here? The defendant's fingerprints were also found, or were also all over the knife. How are the fingerprints arranged on this knife?
Huh? What do you mean, pal?
By examining the fingerprints, you can determine how the defendant held the knife. Right. Because what if he was just holding it to cut something versus to stab something? I'm pretty sure you hold the knife a different way when you're going to cut or stab something. At least I think. Like, I hold the knife differently, at least. You know, what if he's had fingerprints on it because it's a kitchen knife? It's, you know, you use it to eat, probably. A butter knife, you know? It's a butter knife, for crying out loud, you know? I don't know. It's just interesting. For example, did he hold it normally or overhand?
Oh, is that what you meant? Well, we didn't actually think of that.
I can't believe the bumbling of this department. Hopeless. Are you paying attention to the testimony, right? The defendant's fingerprints were all over the knife. There's no way to determine how the knife was held at the moment of the murder.
So the defendant is the owner of this knife then?
Okay. The defendant bought the knife for the crime, which makes this a premeditated murder. This is the last thing we can press. So I don't know if we're supposed to present something, but we'll see. There's no way this was a premeditated murder, even if he bought the knife.
Sorry, pal. This isn't some pocket knife. It doesn't fold. It's not great for walking around with either.
Well, this is not good. If the prosecution can prove this is a premeditated murder, we're done for. Phoenix. Yes? There's something very interesting about what the detective said just now. Think carefully, before it's too late. A button covered in the victim's blood and a knife with unguarded fingerprints. Be grateful. If the judge were more rash, he would have already pounded his gavel in closing. We're still in the world of trouble. But before any battle, you must find your enemy's weakness. Let's find the weakness in the testimony, no matter how small it may be. Okay, Phoenix? Alright, let's look at what was said so far. Huge rivals with each other. Okay. They each thought the other guy was in his way. Which motive... Alright, enough motive in my book. Okay. I mean, there's another motive to consider. But... maybe that's not what they're going for there. As for evidence, there's the Gem Ninja's button. It was ripped off of the ninja costume and was found in Vanguard's Hakama. Okay. The defendant's fingerprints were also all over the knife. The defendant brought the knife for the crime, which means this is a premeditated murder. Now, that can't be right. Because he couldn't have brought this knife to a place that it already belongs to, because it has Gatewater engraved on it. So let me save real quick just to confirm, and then I'm gonna do that. But that has to be it, right? This just logically makes sense. Nice. Wait a second.
What?
So the basis of the argument that this was a premeditated murder is simply that my client bought a knife beforehand.
That's right, pal. The defendant
did not buy this knife. Huh? Take a good look at the handle of this knife and you'll see what I'm talking about.
Huh?
It has a Gatewater seal set into the handle.
Gatewater? I think I've heard of that name somewhere before.
That's the name of the hotel. The Gatewater Hotel.
Uh-oh.
The murder knife was actually property of the hotel, which means this murder was not premeditated. Well, that is very true. This is a very big... What is it, Mr. Edgeworth? I'm sorry, but the defense is simply too careless. What? I think whether the crime was premeditated or not has already been determined. How so? I admit this knife is hotel property. There is no one currently on the police force that is dumb enough not to realize this. But I didn't know. Oh. The question is, where did the knife come from? Why, that's obvious. It came from the victim, Mr. Corda's room. Nah, it came from Matt Ungard's room. We know that. Sorry, Your Honor, but that is incorrect. The victim ate a meal last night before he was murdered. With that being the case, I had to draw the court's attention to what is on top of the table. There is a knife and fork on the table. Already a set of utensils there, so it couldn't have been one of the knives that was in the room. Then, where in the world did this knife come from? If it pleases the court, I would like for us to recall the room of the defendant, Mr. Matt Ungard. Essentially, what was on top of his table. There is something missing. Perhaps it is a single knife. We investigated the leftover dishes for fingerprints, and while we were investigating, I came to the conclusion that Mr. Matt Ungard's knife was missing. Mr. Ungard had gone to the victim's room with the knife he had used during dinner. Why would he carry a knife on a visit? To kill, of course. And with that, I believe the prosecution has proven this was a premeditated murder. Amazing, Mr. Edgeworth. Absolutely brilliant. A brilliantly clear deduction. It seems like Edgeworth had this plan from the very beginning. This must be one of those traps I just walked headlong into it. A murder weapon with fingerprints and a button with the victim's from the victim's costume. There's quite a sizable amount of evidence here. I can safely say that any further deliberation is a waste of your Honor's time. Although, I wouldn't mind if the defense were to present evidence not yet shown to the court. Evidence not yet shown. He needs the evidence that the court hasn't seen yet. In other words, new evidence. What does the defense have to say about this, Mr. Wright? Well, Phoenix. The judge is favoring the prosecution right now. If we answer with something wrong here, the gavel of his will be ringing out the sound of our defeat. Alright, that means we should probably save. Mr. Wright, do you have something important and necessary to present to the court? There is one piece of evidence that catches my attention. Something that the court has yet to see. Mr. Wright, I will say this one more time. I do not feel this trial needs to continue at all. However, I am giving you one chance, and only one. What the judge is saying right is don't try pulling one of your usual bluffs there. If I mess this up, it's curtains for all of us. We now present one and only one piece of evidence. Now then, with this, or what is this important evidence that you must show the court? Let's think about this. We told Adrian we weren't going to show these things. We don't need to show any of these. Well, these two. We don't need to show these two at all. I don't think we do. Those last three are new. I think we need to talk about the news clipping thing right here. Because it says, Jam and Midnight Rendezvous, a superstar in an ultra-hot mega-secret love scandal. Reliable sources say that the Juan Corda has been getting in close with the mysterious yet beautiful manager to the stars, Miss A.A. So I think this is what we need to present. I hope I'm right. Sorry, Wright, but this time your bluffing steered you wrong. I see nothing strange about this piece of evidence. Wait. I'm man of my word, Mr. Wright. Damn. It's enough. Squishy's a reason for... Wow, it's over? It's over. Damn, I thought that was it. I thought that was it for sure. I was trying to see if there's someone else with a motive. But they were not buying that shit, not one bit. Hi, Levi. My door is open, sir. You can come in. I don't know why you're hanging out at my door like you're gonna freak out. It's literally open. Why are you just standing there and being upset? It's open. Alright. We have to present something though, I think, right? See how the music stops? So I would assume that we do definitely have to present something. But there has been a time when we didn't have to do anything, and I was wrong about that. I honestly don't know what my dog wants, but I'll just check real quick. Hold on. Alright. Now, what is this evidence I need to find? Could it be the photo? Because the tomato juice is standing up in the background? Could it be the camera being missing? Because the camera caught something we don't know where it is? Could be a lot of things. Alright, that wasn't it. Okay. Let's try to see if it's, hold on. Let's save right here. Let's try to see if it's not anything. This has to be another trap. But if I don't say anything, then risk throwing out a bad piece of evidence. Well, the defense isn't saying a peep on this one. Which means this court is adjourned. Phoenix, we'll lose this case if you give up here. So you had better show the judge something quick. Slow down. We all know I have a tendency to be wrong more than I can even say it. There is one piece of evidence that catches my attention. Something that this court has yet to see. Mr. Wright, I'll say this one more time, okay? Let's save right here, so now we know we have to present something. Let's save right here. Okay. We're good. Alright. Not the camera, not the tabloid. Something that the court hasn't seen. I'm trying to avoid it, but they're not giving me much of a choice here. Alright, fuck it. We'll try one of these. We'll try this. Nope. It's not it. Okay. So we don't have to bring up that stuff. Let's try an individual. We should get her account because she's the one who found the bodies. That's also wrong. Like, I could present any of these with reason, but none of these are what they're looking for. That's the part that sucks. I don't know what they're looking for exactly. I don't feel like any of these are bluffs, but I suppose it's what they think. Not the tabloid, not the camera. Can't be the hotel guide map. Important evidence. I feel like we need to find this. I mean, he didn't have it on the stage, though. What if he did have it and someone stole it? Like, what if he did definitely bring it? Because how could he forget it? And somebody stole it and took it back to the studio. I'm going to say tomato juice. This is a wine glass, is it not? So my logic with the tomato juice is because if you look at the photo right here, let me show you. For those unfamiliar. Here's the crime scene. You see the knife, you see the button missing, you see the scarf around his neck, he's been choked, you see the broken vase on the ground, you see the guitar case open, and yet there's a bottle of tomato juice sitting on the table behind him, untouched, unbothered, just chilling. How is that possible? How is that possible? What if no one killed Juan and he killed himself? Because it's what happened with Celeste. He felt guilty and he choked himself with his own scarf because he couldn't hang himself. I don't know. And he was just drinking the juice and he couldn't get to that glass. Please look at the photo of the crime scene one more time. The scene is the best because of the victim's struggle against his assailant. The vase was broken. His makeup is all over the floor. These are all things that were at one point sitting on top of the dresser. Well, yes, I see your point. However, this glass that is sitting on the top of the dresser is mysteriously untouched. The only thing that had not fallen over along with everything else is this wine glass. This piece of evidence is more than strange enough to warrant further consideration. Well, what do you all have to say? Well, yes, it is a little peculiar. Yes, isn't it? I thought it was. Stop looking at me with those puppy dog eyes of yours, Mr. Edgeworth. What is it, Your Honor? Your opinion. You don't need my opinion. Because there is no special meaning to that glass. What? It's safe to say that the glass was set there after the crime took place. By the person who discovered the body, Adrian Andrews, for example. She would have easily been so shocked that she set the glass down without thinking. That does sound very plausible, Mr. Wright. Adrian Andrews really have set the glass down without thinking. Nah, because you see a dead body, you're just gonna put the glass down? Nah, she could have put the glass down without thinking because she's the one who did it. Let me save real quick. I'm gonna say, yeah, she could have done it without thinking because she just was so callous. She could have just been like, I killed him. Anyways, I'll put this over here. And no one would really, why would anyone think anything of it? I mean, it wouldn't matter, you know? It's possible that is what happened. There's nothing that points to Miss Andrews not being the one who set the cup down. But if I raise an objection here, that would only make the judge slam his gavel down. Can't think like that, Phoenix. Not right now, or Mia. Right now, you're hanging on by a... I don't know why my dog is angry right now. He's barking. I think he's good. Right now, you're hanging on by a very thin thread. Anything else you can grab onto right now is better than nothing. In other words, push as far as I can go. The defense would like to challenge the prosecution's theory. I would like to see something that proves it was Miss Andrews who set the cup on the table, right? Y'all got all these forensics talking about how his fingerprints are all over the knife. Where's Miss Andrews' fingerprints on the glass to prove that she was there at the crime scene? You turned the situation on its head yet again, as usual. Mr. Edgeworth, do you have any proof that to back up your claim? There's no way he has any. He's just bluffing. Well, Mr. Wright, I never say anything unless I have the evidence to support it. What? You're not thinking hard enough today, right? Did you think this wine glass escaped my notice? And then, of course, it has been thoroughly inspected for fingerprints. Fingerprints? There are only one set of fingerprints left on this wine glass. Only one? Well, whose were they? They are not the victim nor the defendants. Rather, they were of one Adrian Andrews. What? Found next to the victim. It's filled with tomato juice. Bears Andrews' fingerprints. That is why I said that the person who discovered the body had left it there. Are we done here, Mr. Wright? Can't believe I fell into another trap. Miss Andrews was probably holding the glass when she went to see Mr. Corda. But upon seeing her dead body, she was stunned and set the glass down on the dresser. What you just said makes a lot of sense. Tisk, tisk, tisk. Now do you see, right? You can't change any part of my scenario if it explains everything all too well. I thought long and hard that past year about what it means to be a prosecutor. Here now I will show you the answer I have come to discover. Second, Mr. Edgeworth. I think the prosecution has provided enough evidence for you to enter my verdict. Unfortunately, I cannot allow you to pass judgment yet. The prosecution has yet another witness we would like the court to hear from. Another witness. Yes. Bailiff, please bring in our next witness. What in the world is Mr. Edgeworth thinking? He's not thinking about winning, he's thinking about justice. Oh, hell no, bro. Now then, witness, please state your name and occupation. Witness, your name and occupation. Okay. Gotcha. I wonder what happened to the calm composure he had earlier. Oh, Edgy boy, it's been, a year since we last met, hasn't it? You should be more happy to see me. I saw the report with her testimony, but who knew that under that helmet, it was the Wicked Witch of the witness stand. I tell you, this time I know what I'm supposed to do. So today, I'm going to tell you anything and everything. Even things that don't have to do with that terrible crime. This witness, that terrible crime is all this court needs to know. Oof. Shush. I'm talking to my dear Edgy Wedgie right now. Ew. 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 Don't interrupt us, Gramps. Yes, ma'am. No, 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 please, by all means interrupt her, please. Anyway, witness, your testimony, please. It's true what they say, that youth are hot-headed nowadays. Now that I mind it, not that I mind at all, Edgy. Now then, what should I start with? The witness was on security detail at the hotel on the night of the murder. Is this correct, Miss Oldbag? It was a great job being able to see my dearie Juan. It was almost too much for my little heart to handle. You mean you were a fan of the victim? Look, everyone is crazy over that on guard, saying he's cute in a fresh way or something. But not me. I wouldn't say anything that's so silly. After all, I have no interest in a little child like him. I'm only interested in a real man, Juan Corda. They're the same age. But those two were the same exactly. Anyway, as I was saying, I was pacing in front of his room that night. Very well. Please tell the court what you witnessed the night of the murder. Leave it to me, Edgy Poo. That's a lot better than the other nickname you gave him, I'll tell you that. That shit was nasty. Anyway, after the ceremony, I went to pace around in the hallway in front of his room. There was something I was interested in finding out, you know. Well, since I was on the job, I made sure to keep a good eye out the whole time. That's when someone showed up. It was a man coming out of poor Juan's room. It was on guard, mad on guard. He was trying to sneak his way out of Juan's room. Okay. So Mr. Ungard came out of the victim's room? See, it was him. It has to be him. He's the murderer. I see. Well, Mr. Wright, you may begin your cross-examination. Alright, I know what I gotta present. We're just gonna press her anyway. What do you witness? Anyway, after the ceremony, I went to pace around in the hallway in front of his room. Miss Oldbag, what was your post on that night? The lobby. I was supposed to help set up the stage for that trifling show. But I refused to help. I'll have you know, it was for that lead-headed samurai show. Heh. I even took out a few of the nails. Maybe it was a good thing the show didn't go on. Besides, the manager with the glasses seemed to be working hard at it without me. So I thought I'd take a break and spread my wings a little. And that's when you went to hang around the victim's door? It was something I was interested in finding out, you know. Something you were interested in? And just what was that? It's not some little thing I can just go around telling everyone, you know. It's top secret between me and Juan. Ah, and Edgy Poo, of course. Mr. Edgeworth, what is this thing she was interested in? I have no idea. I despise gossip, Your Honor. Gossip. But should it prove relevant, we can always have it appended in her testimony later. It looks like we shouldn't force it right now. And did the witness stay in the vicinity of the victim's room or door the entire time? Well, since I was on the job, I made sure to keep a good eye out the whole time. Oh, then would you tell us the number of people who went in and out of Mr. Corrider's room? I have no idea. I wasn't born so I could count things for those who didn't pay attention in class. That's why ever since I turned 20, I quit keeping track of how old I really am. That adds up. That's true. Okay. Guess, well, that would explain why your age is not included in the report, yeah. In any case, the witness then saw someone, correct? That's when someone showed up. It was a man coming out of poor Juan's room. Who in the world was that? I'm not allowed to say. This sort of information has to be carefully guarded from the masses, Sonny. The man that came out of Juan's room, yes, he was. I'm too scared, I can't say his name out loud. Oh. What I wouldn't give for Francisca's whip right now. How convenient she can't be here to whip old bag. That'd be funny as hell if that happened. Well, I guess I can't tell you, since I'm such a bad, or since he's such a bad boy anyway. Who is she talking about? It was a guard, Madam Guard. He was trying to sneak his way out of Juan's room. You saw my client? Are you sure about that? Yesy. Really? Annoying brat. When I say I saw someone, I saw that person. Why do I get a sense of deja vu? Maybe to avoid a repeat of last year, I should delve into this a bit further. The person's face. What was the person carrying? Person's... Okay. The distinct feature for Matt would be the clothes. Because if I say his face, I mean, she could just say what we have in the report. But it'd be a little harder to remember what he was wearing. Let's go. Let's go to the courtroom about the man's clothes in more detail. And the reason I'm saying that is because I'm pretty sure he was in costume when he committed the crime. So for her to know it was him, she'd be going based off of him being in costume. What a troublesome man you are, really. As if something like that matters. But it does. Now, what was it? Oh, yes, it was that thing. What thing? That gaudy thing he's always wearing, that racing jacket. Okay. He was wearing that at the detention center, too. Oh, shit, bro's playing this case. Indubiously. Welcome to the stream, my friend. I don't know if I want to call you master. I'm not doing that. RKM might be a good name. I don't know. That thing's meant for nothing but seducing women out of their pantaloons. Men. Oh, I won't. Right. So, Mr. Wright, was the testimony just now important or relevant in any way? I mean, if she's gonna say she saw him, I do need more details, yeah. Of course it was important, Your Honor. And perhaps you would like to point out what part of that testimony was important. Don't you see it, Edgeworth? Your Honor, I request that the witness said, or that what the witness said about the jacket be appended to her testimony. I don't see quite where you're going with this, but alright. Witness, please. Okay, so we can press her more about the clothing, I guess? I'll see. Well, I don't like to badmouth anyone without reason, but if I must. So now that's added to her testimony. He was wearing his flashy racing jacket. Honestly, it's all just for show. Can I press her again on this, and then she adds more? Let's see if I can do that. Okay. Let me see if that works. Oh, it didn't let me. Okay, so just this. Alright, that's fine. He's wearing his flashy racing jacket. Honestly, it's all just for show. Press. Are you sure the defendant was wearing a racing jacket? What do you think? Sound like I've seen him anything other than that horrible thing. I'm sure he was wearing it. She's so sure of herself that it's to a point of self-absorption. I may not remember things or be mistaken here and there, but I don't think she's lying. It's bad for us, really bad. But that's how the human mind is. It has a tendency to jump off topic. Be really careful with farewell to the turnabout because it's only case you can actually fail without running out of meter. Ooh. Interesting. That's pretty fucking cool that they put that in the game. Appreciate the heads up. She's straight on to a few interesting side topics this time, too, hasn't she? Well, that's what makes her a sweet old lady, right? That's because you're not the one who has to question her. Okay. Now, let me see if I, Mm-hmm. All right. Now, do we have anything that suggests that he wasn't wearing his jacket? Because I feel like I remember something about them being in costume. It's probably this ticket then, right? Seems like because he's the Nickel Samurai. Seems like the Nickel Samurai is going to invest something after the post-ceremony stage show. So he'd have to be in costume to present it. So if he's about to go on stage, in like a few minutes, why would he be out of costume? That doesn't make any sense, right? Let me go ahead and save just in case. That's what makes sense to me. We'll see. That's wrong. Fuck. I tried. Okay. No, don't save that. Hold up now. Whoa. Okay. It's something about this jacket, though. So it's not that. Would it be the crime photo? Because Juan was in costume. Why would Matt and Gar not be in costume? That's a fair point, right? Maybe. Or this knife or the button was found in his Hakima, which is his outfit. So for him to be at the scene of the crime, he'd have to be in costume to have this in his Hakima. He couldn't have had the racing jacket on. Let's try that. Let's go. Miss Old Bag. What? Did you say my... Don't say my name for no reason. Do you know what this is? It's button number 2 on the Jammin' Ninja's costume. Now, I know she's an obsessed fan. She identified it in a single glance. Give it here. If you don't give it to me, I'll punish you with this. Wow. She really is a diehard fan to want a button covered in blood. This button was discovered on Mr. Ungar's body during the full body search. See? This button proves beyond a shadow of doubt it was that rascal Ungar. It was caught up in the pleats of his nickel samurai Hakama pants. See? And Guard is the nickel samurai. Witness. Now, it may just be me, and I do have an active imagination. But just now, didn't you say that the defendant, Matt Ungar, was wearing his usual racing jacket? Joe Lyon asks. I can't do the noise, but that's what I think of when I see her breathing in that thing. I'm so sorry. Sorry that you judge people based on what they wear. If I wore the trendiest, but instead I have to put up with wearing this outfit here it is, right? It's heavy, so heavy. I wish I would dream alive for all those kids. Understand now? I can't do it, bro. I wish there was a way to see what she said so I could read it. But I think that's the whole point. It'd be cool if for that specific scene or whenever that happens, those lines were voice acted. That'd be kind of cool. A nice little touch. But it's what it is. It's a whole game. I'm chilling. Now hold your tongue still there for a second. So what you saw is actually, or in actuality, was not Mr. Ungard, the man, but Mr. Ungard, the Nickel Samurai. But when you think about it, okay, they're actually one and the same anyway. That's a good point, but just like when the guy in the last case died, Russell, he was wearing the coat. He was wearing Matt's coat, and then the coat fell onto the bus that killed him, right? He was wearing a different costume. Just like with the whole thing that happened at Global Studios the last year, or in the previous game, where the other guy was wearing the samurai costume, or the Steel Samurai costume, and he wasn't even supposed to be the Steel Samurai. So, someone could be wearing another costume, maybe. We'll see. They're really one and the same anyway. I had so much fun with that case, dude. I was crying laughing. There's so many jokes and me reading people's lines and getting blamed for what they were saying. Shit was awesome. But it was a crazy case, I will give you that. It definitely was fucking nuts. They're really one and the same anyway. Miss Oldbag, this is a very important point we're talking about. Edgy food, do you think so too? Well, it might be something worth considering. Just say it's important and agree with me for a change. Witness, think carefully and try to remember as much as you can before you testify. Alright if you insist. I should be the one sighing, not you. I shouldn't testify again. Who I saw, okay? Go for it. On guard, on guard. Yes, now I remember. The Nickel Samurai? That's right. It was a Nickel Samurai that I saw. Yes. It would not, or would have been convenient for him to wear his costume during the murder. He had to go to that post-ceremony stage show right after the crime, you know. So he must have worn the Nickel Samurai costume when he was stabbing poor Juan. Okay. Another mistake made there because we found out he was strangled. It wasn't just like a stab wound. Not regenerating bar in this game drove my head up the side of a wall with Big Top in the opening case. I think the Big Top one was probably one of the harder ones, for sure. The second case, I actually kind of got from the jump and didn't realize I got it. In the first case, I was lost in that one. I had no clue what to do. I think honestly in the first case, I was kind of either getting lucky or I was getting guided. I can't remember I had help on that one. First case was crazy though. That one kind of flew by, but it usually does with this game. I knew it. Seance murder thing was the second one. Opening case was the one where they were at the park and someone got pushed to their death, I think. It was like a cop. And there was a guy who, I forget why he was upset. I think he had stole something and he didn't want to get caught or something like that. I knew you saying he was inside that costume. What? Do you think there could have been someone else inside that costume? Don't be a bad little boy thinking of such rude things. But the possibility does exist. Youngins today, I told you, there's no way it was anyone else. That's a fair point, because how could he have gone on stage in costume, and then someone else gets inside the costume? That wouldn't make sense. That'd be kind of crazy to do that. Unless it's like, it's easy to get out of, but I highly doubt that. It looks too, too flashy. Oh yeah, the one took a long time to lock in, especially after Rise of the Ashes. Oh, the Rise of the Ashes one was insane, bro. Because it was like, you know who did it, but trying to prove it was like ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. The safe code thing was pretty funny when it was just the number 7 over and over. I thought that was pretty cool. How do you know that? Because I said so. And what I say is the truth. Okay. At least she's just as delightful a witness as she was a year ago. Mr. Wright, you may begin your cross-examination. Or you may cross-examine the witness. I'm so used to reading it that way that I read it ahead of time. On guard, yes, now I remember. I don't have to press this, but I'm going to. Would you please get on with your testimony? Watch your language, young man. What sort of tone is that to take with an elder? My youthfulness isn't what used to be, so you should forgive me for everything. If you can keep on barking at me like that, I'll start singing at the top of my lungs. What? A striking figure by the sea, standing all alone is he. He is the Nickel Samurai. She's actually singing. Someone help my poor ears. Mr. Edgeworth, can you please do something about this racket? Witness, I'll give you a piece of gum later if you'll be good and stick to just the facts. Okay. You promise, right? Right. I'll be sending you the bill for the chewing gum to your office at a later date. Remind me to send you a thank you note later too, Edgeworth, old chum. The Nickel Samurai. That's right. It was the Nickel Samurai that I saw. Okay? Be a little more careful with your testimony, please. Not too long ago, you said he was wearing his racing jacket, and now he's not. Not too long ago? Then let me ask you this. When you were itty bitty, what was your grand dream? Huh? What did you want to be when you grew up, whippersnapper? My dream, huh? Well, I wanted to be Judge Wagner, hero of the public court. So what? See? And look where you are now. You're not Judge Wagner, are you? Are you? Well, what I said earlier. Who puts any weight into things like that? The now is everything. I can't be held responsible for the past. She kind of cooking, not really, but you know what I'm saying? Sometimes you can't let your past become you know what I'm saying? It's about what you're doing right now, you know what I'm saying? I feel that in this old bag. I feel that. Since when did this court become theatrics over testimonies? All that matters is that man was inside that costume. Isn't that enough? I got a trophy for that. Yes. It would have been convenient for him to wear his costume during the murder. And why would that be? That way no one can see his face, of course. There's still no advantage for him that I can see. In fact, you would think the costume would make him stand out all the more. You're such an annoying child, you know that? You disagree with everything I say. Isn't that what you're always doing to me? I got it. Maybe it was more troublesome for you to change in and out of his costume. He had to go to that post-ceremony stage show right after the crime, you know. Was there anyone else scheduled to appear at this post-ceremony show? Well, all the contestants were supposed to go on stage in a friendly gesture thing. Okay. And that included the Jammin' Ninja. Of course it included him. That's why when a guard came out of dear Juan's room, I didn't give it a second thought. I see. Well, anyway. So he must have worn the Nickel Samurai costume when he was stabbing poor Juan. Now, we're going to press and we're going to present. I don't think I'm going to lose a life for this, am I? Let me just save just in case. That'd be pretty lame if I did. Kind of just want to see if she gives us any more details to work with. So let me ask you one last time. The person you saw was really the Nickel Samurai. As showy as ever. Haven't I been saying that from the very beginning? Did I throw in the towel yet? Don't need to think too hard on this one, huh? There's a contradiction in your testimony that's sitting in plain sight. The question is what the contradiction means for us. Well, I have to figure out what you're talking about first, but okay. Yeah, we know what it is. Because I thought he got stabbed too. I didn't even think about him being choked. I assumed that the necktie was actually just a part of his costume. But it looks like they had that shit wrapped around real tight. Like a noose. Alright. So we gotta go with the autopsy report probably, right? Because he's got the strangled with the scarf thing. Dang, you know, I really like being wrong, bro. You know what I'm saying? I really woke up this morning and was just like, let me get this shit wrong, like right now, you know? That's what I was thinking. I had all the energy in the world to get that wrong. How did I get that wrong? That wasn't it? Okay, so it's not the autopsy report. Is it this? I was so confident. Oh, now I'm cooked. Now I'm actually cooked. I'm cooked. I don't know what it is. Alright, let's review what she said then. Alright, he had to go to the post-ceremony show after the crime, you know, okay. Would have been convenient for him to wear his costume during the murder, okay. Nickel Samurai, that's right. Okay, pretty sure you saw him. Pretty sure she saw on guard. Is it not the last statement? He must have worn the Nickel Samurai costume when he was stabbing poor Juan. Is there a picture of the costume The Nickel Samurai costume? He would have had like his giant spear thing then, right? Why would he have not brought that with him if he was going to stab him? Why would he use a knife if he has that big old freaking thing? Maybe that's what it is? Let's try that. You gotta be shitting me. I actually don't know. There's something hyper specific that we're looking for. Don't think too hard on this one. Sitting in plain sight. Just figure out what it means for us. On guard, on guard. Yes, now I remember. I feel like it is, and this is going right over my head. Like, beast style. Nickel Samurai, that's right. It was the Nickel Samurai that I saw. Now, she's saying that she saw the Nickel Samurai, but she's not saying that she saw on guard. She doesn't know it was him, but, you know, saying that he's had to be wearing the costume. He had to go to that post-ceremony stage show right after the crime, you know. The Nickel Samurai is going to confess something after this post-ceremony, after the post-ceremony stage show. Is it this? Because he's going confess something after the post-ceremony stage show. Since he's not attending the actual thing, he's going to be there after? Or is it going to happen, he's going to be there for the stage show, but then he's going to do something else afterwards too? Maybe? It's not. Not semantics, okay. We're narrowing it down at least, on the bright side. Wait. Hold on. So, if he's in this samurai costume, his fingerprints can't be on the knife. Is that it? Because he has the gloves and he has the other arms covered up too. Let's try that. Let's go. That might not even be why, but I'm just going to assume that. Please take a look at this. Yeah, so it's a knife. Big deal. If you're trying to scare me with that, I'll have you know it wouldn't work. No, it's not my intention at all. That's the knife that was used in the murder, correct? Your Honor, do you know why this piece of evidence is important to this case? You don't even have to ask. It's because the defendant's fingerprints are on it. You know, Edgeworth, come on. Is that what you're driving at? Yeah, that is exactly what I'm driving at. What are you driving at? And whose cars are we driving? If Mr. Ungar was really the Nickel Samurai costume at the time of the murder, then it's impossible for his fingerprints to have been left on this knife. Actually, he would have wiped all the previous fingerprints. All the previous fingerprints on the knife right off. Okay, there we go. I hit X by accident. Whoops. Oh, that's right. The Nickel Samurai wears gloves, doesn't he? He probably took his gloves off before he began the stab. Edgeworth. You're very smart. You know that don't make sense. What are you saying? And why would he do something like that? To leave his prints on the murder weapon? There is no way he would do something like that. However, there is one possibility. Then let's hear your possibility. It's very simple. The defendant went into the victim's room while in costume as the Nickel Samurai. At that time, the defendant held no intent to murder. He was probably just going to relax and talk with the victim about the stage show. Which is why he took his gloves off. But the murders still did not take place. It's well known that there was bad blood between the defendant and the victim. Yes, I've heard that before. Well, Mr. Wright, what do you have to say about Mr. Edgeworth's theory? Let me get this straight. Edgeworth's theory goes like this. When the defendant went to the victim's room, he had no intention of killing him. Now up to this point, are there any problems with his theory? There's a contradiction. This theory contradicts something in the earlier testimony. What are you babbling about? Now, for argument's sake, let's suppose Mr. Ungard was the killer. If that's the case, I think it's impossible for the killer to have gone to the victim's room without intent. It's possible for the killer to go to the victim's room without intent. Is it the knife again? I didn't save, so now I'm kind of fucked right now, I'm gonna lie. I mean, he would have had to, because the knife is there and it's got his fingerprints on it. So it's impossible to go in there with the knife and not intend to kill. Why would you bring the knife in there? It doesn't make any sense. And that's what Edgeworth said earlier, too. That wouldn't make any sense for him to do that. This knife. This was used by Mr. Ungard at dinner. Yes, we did establish that. Which means that if my client was in fact the killer, then he brought this knife with him when he went to visit Mr. Corida, I suppose. However, you just said it yourself. At the time, the defendant held no intent to murder. If that were true, then why would he bring a knife? He wouldn't, would he? True. Why would he bring a knife if he wasn't going to kill someone with it? Like, especially, like, you're not going to go in there and eat what he's eating. You probably got the same damn thing. Which means, Mr. Edgeworth, your theory was flawed from supposition 1. And one more thing. You a bitch. I'm kidding. If the murderer was wearing the costume at the time of the murder, then there should be glove marks left on the knife. Good point. Okay. I see you. Which means the defendant's fingerprints shouldn't be all over like bees on a hive. And that means, or that brings me to my final point. This knife was planted by the real killer to hide their identity and mislead us. That's a good point, Phoenix. Also, another thing, why are they not talking about how deep the knife is? Hear me out. Because he was strangled, but jabbing the knife in, right? If you're really gonna stab somebody, you just gonna put the tip? That's not happening, right? That's not. I don't know. I just don't feel like that makes sense. And why would you leave the thing that has your fingerprint? You know what I mean? It doesn't make sense. It's just weird. Order, I say. Order in the court. Was this knife really planted by the killer? Why would the murderer do such a thing? I'll go ahead and say I got a lot of progress here. Okay. To hide the murder method, to frame Matt Ungard. Yeah. It's to frame my client, Mr. Ungard, of course. To frame. Aren't you forcing the interpretation just a little too hard on this one? But we just established that the witness was the Nickel Samurai. So the witness saw the Nickel Samurai in costume. If that were true, then there shouldn't be a single fingerprint on this knife. Witness? Looks like I've made your life a tiny bit more difficult, huh, Itchy Poo? Witness, did you or did you not really see the Nickel Samurai? Well, I guess at first I might have forgotten, but are you saying you mixed up Mr. Ungard with the Nickel Samurai, his character on TV? But I mean, I can't really do anything about that now. Look, I was waiting around in front of their door because, well, I wasn't waiting around for the Nickel Samurai, that's for sure. She wasn't waiting for the Nickel Samurai. She was waiting because, remember, Juan had an autograph for her. I don't know why he got an autograph, but he had one for her. And she wanted that. She wanted the autograph. It had her name on it, too, so it was definitely for her. Well, maybe timeout. Maybe it was for it. Could have been for a different person with the same name. Who knows? You know, maybe the I don't know, the fucking pink princess or whatever. Her name is Wendy for all I know. But yeah, she wasn't waiting for the nickel samurai. All right then, who are you waiting for around for then? That's top secret to anyone outside of security. She might have been waiting for Adrian to go in there because of the tabloid, but we haven't proven that she cares about the tabloid. All we know is that Lotta cared about it. Well, actually, no, we did find out that she cared about it through Lotta, and then we talked to her when we were doing the Cyclops. I have a feeling that you were waiting for Juan Corda. Am I correct, witness? Ha ha ha. The way you think, you are a sad amateur with a terrible case of nearsightedness. Amateur? Me? What am I an amateur of? Soulbag was waiting around in front of the victim's room, but it doesn't sound like she was waiting for to catch a glimpse of Mr. Corda. Maybe Phoenix. Maybe the old bag was waiting around for that person. If it's who I think Maya's hinting at, it's certainly possible. This old bag. You were waiting for this person to come out of the victim's room, weren't you? Obviously, she was waiting on Celeste Impact. Oh, no. Adrian Andrews. Who's this person? This is Adrian Andrews, Mr. Ungar's manager. But why would the defendant's manager be in the victim's room? It seems that this is the latest rumor in circulation, Your Honor. Oh, this is... I see. The judge seems to be really into the article, if it can be called such a thing. Then this manager, with the initials AA, are you saying it's Adrian Andrews? Without a doubt, the witness thought so as well. Looks like you found me out. Well, that's fine. I can throw away this whole sworn to confidential stuff, or confidentiality stuff, then. Maybe she was trying to split the pot with Lotta or something, because Lotta was trying to get the tabloid, and she was like, as long as you don't say anything, then we can make some money. And maybe Old Bag stole her camera for safekeeping, just in case Lotta held out on her. But then how is she supposed to take the fucking picture? Well, I guess she did take a picture. I don't know. Witness, what in the world are you? Watch out, Phoenix. I've got a bad feeling about this. A very bad feeling. I got some information. Some very secret information from a certain source. That's why I was doing my little investigation in secret, of course. But what for? Oh, just for myself. Personal reasons and all that. Get some water. Well, Miss Edwards, how will you proceed from here? I really don't want to do this, however, I cannot simply let this point slide. I see very well then. Witness, please testify about the secret information. Get ready. This is going to take the wind out of your youngin, or take the wind out of you youngins. I was going to say your sails, but she didn't say that. I'm sure we're all capable of handling this, really. It's not like we're 10 years old. Secret information testimony. Let's go. That Angard is one evil, evil man. He thought he could ruin poor Juan by causing a huge scandal. So to do that, he sent his own manager to get close with Juan. I cannot condone such dirty tricks, so I took action. Oh, and this is top secret. You got that? Nobody else but you and me know it yet, okay? Ma'am, what are you talking about? The defendant sent his manager. What a distasteful topic for this court. What? Nobody's above gossip. And isn't there a saying, the truth is never pleasant? Never heard that one before. Miss Edgeworth, what about this Adrian Andrews person? We have looked into this matter and found that the truth the article proposes is in fact baseless gossip. But should this be true, then this proves that the defendant did bear ill will towards the victim. So this means I have to smash this rumor once and for all. Now then, Mr. Wright, you may cross-examine the witness. Be careful. The old bag seems rather excited right now. That's right, on guard is nothing but your average foul-blooded youth. Well, as the old saying goes, you've got to burn old bags with fire. Time to fire up the afterburners and hit the highway to the danger zone. Isn't that a song? That on guard is one evil, evil man. Why do you say that? You can't say something like that without proof. That's just slander. But it's true. That woman was getting intimate with poor Juan. Look, it says right here, doesn't it? Manager to the stars, Miss A.A. But the name of the magazine this came from is Gossipland. What? Are you saying that gossip is all just a pack of lies? What do you know? I suppose next you'll swear to me that the news is 100% truth. Honestly, Sonny, you can't discriminate between the news and gossip. Yes, discrimination is bad, Mr. Wright. Discriminate? When did I do anything like that? Anyway, on guard will never get me to say touche. He thought he could ruin poor Juan by causing a huge scandal. A scandal? What do you mean by that? You're a dim-witted one, aren't you? I can't believe you don't know what a scandal is. Honestly, what are they teaching kids in middle school these days? No. I wasn't asking what the word scandal means. Even I know that much. Well, then on guard thought he could own a monopoly a monopoly on popularity. So to do that, he sent his own manager to get close with Juan. You don't have any proof that Mr. Ungard did such a thing. You must be suffering from shock, the shock of hearing the truth. And now, since you're in such shock, you can't do anything right. You're right. I can't do anything, but boy, do I wish I could do something about you. Alright, Sonny, show me what you got. Can you show me proof that Ungard didn't bear any ill will towards Juan? Can I show that? I don't know if I have anything that shows that he didn't have any ill will towards him. I just have, like, Adrian Andrews' account, really. I don't know if I have that. Yeah, I don't think I have that. I mean, I should. I definitely should have that. But I don't think I do. Yeah. I would need to have something that suggests I'm going to decline this offer for now. Maybe we'll circle back to it based on something else she says later. I don't have anything to offer. See? Just as I thought. And you were lecturing me about saying things without proof. You've just given me a free pass to say whatever I want, whenever I want, silly boy. Me and my big old mouth. That's the way the cookie crumbles, for you anyway. I cannot condone such dirty tricks, so I took action, okay? So what do you mean, I took action? Like I already told you, I was lying in wait, close to the... Like I already told you, I was lying in wait close to the crime scene. Once that slimy woman came out of Juan's room, I was going to capture her and teach her a good lesson, something you youngins need. You were going to teach her a good lesson. I was going to make her eat the damaging beams of my ray gun, like this. No, stop! Well, it was too bad that woman didn't come through the door that night. Huh. She didn't come through the door that night. She wasn't in there, but she has her fingerprints on. I guess she left when the crime happened. Maybe she was already in the room, so Obag never saw her go in because she had already been in there the whole time. Huh. But she said she was making the rounds at the stage area. But Adrian is pretty smart. She probably found a way to sneak past her. I mean, old bag is old, so she could have just missed her. Just like she was missing stuff when she was on cameras at one time. Oh, and this is top secret. You got that? Nobody else but you and me can know it, okay? That doesn't make any sense. Why are you saying that? Wait. What? I'm a busy woman. Tea time with the kids is over. Secret information that no one else knows yet. If that's true, then how do you know this secret information? Huh? Well, that's because I'm a pro. Yes, that's it. It's a secret even you drilled a hole into my brain. You'll never find out. How in the world did that old bat get such a secret piece? Okay, let's press her, of course. Keep pressing her. Secret piece of information. You don't need to be a good girl and tell me. If you don't be a good girl and tell me where you got that secret information, you won't get to go home today. Edgy Poo, what are you doing? Help me. What do I have to do with this? Just do this for me. You'll get a reward. I don't want your reward, but you don't have to leave me much of a choice. The witness could have gotten her information from anywhere. It's even possible that it was spontaneously made up inside the witness's head. And he lectures me on reckless blabbering. As long as we don't know where the information came from, it's quite a waste of time to focus on this line of questioning. Where did old Meg get her inside information? It has to be something I can use to figure it out. Feels like just another tidbit of gossip, doesn't it? But you can't just ignore it either. It makes your client look bad either way. Well, I don't think I've heard anything really out of the ordinary just now. It has to be something we can catch her on. Yeah. And when I find it, I'm going to press the heck out of it. I think it's the last statement because there's a tabloid about it. Like, it can't be top secret information if it's in the news. People have read it. You know, people know it's a thing. It just wouldn't make sense, right? Need to stretch for this one? Oh boy. Well, I'm gonna try some stuff and see what happens. I mean, that tomato juice thing caught me off guard, I ain't gonna lie, so, you know, we'll see. I'm gonna start with this first. Because how could it be top secret if everybody, you know, hears about it, right? Okay. This is not it. Okay. Process of elimination here. Some reasonable deduction, right? Now, look at something else you might have said. Okay. To do that, he sent his own manager to get close to Juan. Not don't deserve tricks, so I took action. Which one of these statements is contradictory? And God is one evil man. He thought he could ruin. Okay. Do that, he said his own manager. Gotta be able to prove that. I think it was, that you sent his own manager to get to close to Juan. Now, saying you can't do that without proof, then I have to prove that he didn't have any ill will towards him. Would he send his manager in there to talk to, or, you know, I don't know. What is it that I'm missing here? Is it this, possibly? Because she's got her fingerprints on this glass, which means Juan didn't pour it for her, right? Well, no, he was in costume. Let me see. Let me look at the crime photo. Does he have... No, his fingerprints are shown. Found next to the victim's filled with tomato juice bears Andrew's fingerprints, right? Read each description carefully, I feel you. Empty, there's some water, but only on top of the lid bears Corda's fingerprints. Didn't have any ill will, right? Sent his own manager to get in close with Juan. Good knows his dirty tricks, so I took action. On his top secret, you got that. Nobody else but you and me know about it. Have to disprove this. I doubt it's the attorney's badge, but it would be interesting to say it's top secret, but like nobody else you and me know about. It's like I'm just an attorney. That's not what it is. It can't be the attorney's badge. Can't be, right? Not the Magatama. Let me look. Was ripped from his costume, covered in Cora's blood, found in an unguarded Hakama. Why would he keep the button if it's got the victim's blood? If it's got Cora's blood, why would he keep the blood on him? Why would he keep the button? You could say him having the button would suggest he had no ill will. Because maybe he kept it for safekeeping, maybe like a way of like treasuring. Hey, my friend died. Let me hang on to this. It's for part of memory, I guess. Maybe. Let's press this thing right here. I think this is the one, right? Any proof of Mr. Unguard, just such a thing. Let's see. Can you show me what you've got? Can you show me proof that Unguard didn't bear any ill will towards Juan? Let's go. I'm not going to let you push me around that easily. Heh. There's many a man who said those exact words and paid dearly for them. Well, maybe you should brace yourself this time. Here's my proof that Mr. Unguard didn't have any ill will towards the victim. It's a stretch. Let me look real quick. I don't think it's a person, possibly. Was on bad terms with Unguard. Okay, that doesn't help me at all. Okay. So it's got to be evidence. So I'm thinking it's either the button right here, because why would he keep it? It's just fucking weird, you know? Doesn't make sense. But maybe he went in there to check on Juan because he noticed he didn't have the guitar. Maybe he was in there trying to, you know, hey, how come you don't have your guitar like normal or whatever? What the hell happened? And he goes in there and he sees that he's dead. And then he takes the button. It doesn't say anything, you know? Why would he take the button? That's so weird, bro. We'll go with this, because just why does he have it? Let's just see what happens. Is that it? You can take it from here? Edgy food. Okay. This did not work out the way I thought it did. What are you handing it over to me for? So you can give that jagged-edged baboon boy a message for me. Please. Tell him that no matter what he does, the only thing he's good at is failing. What she said, right? Or should I say baboon boy? Wow. Wow. Yes, I agree that this isn't much of a piece of... Okay, see, now you're just... Okay, you're a dick for that. You're a dick, okay? Why would you join in on that, Judge, alright? Look, man. That was fucked up. Okay. Let's look at the evidence again. I don't think it's any of these first 5. First 6. Tablet article about the victim was... Oh, wait a minute. I see. I got it. This is Lotta's camera, and she had the tabloid article about the victim in this case. It's this. Son of a bitch. That's not it. Hold on. Oh, and this is top secret. You got that. Nobody else but me and you knew it. I thought for sure that was it, bro. I'm confused. Unless I gotta present Lotta. That's still wrong, so it's not even Lotta. That made so much sense to me, dude. I thought I had that shit. Honestly, I genuinely thought I had that. I'm just as surprised as you are, dude. I'm very confused. It's not the tabloid and it's not the camera. I don't think I have anything that can prove that they don't have ill will towards each other. Ah, try to get some new dialogue? Okay. Alright. We'll take it from the top and see if that helps. I feel like... I'm pretty sure I pressed this one. Pretty sure I pressed that one. We pressed this and we had to figure some shit out. It said press further when I got to this last statement. So let's press this again. Wait. What? It's a woman. Secret information. That's true, then how did you know this is secret information? It's gotta be the last statement. This is secret, even I drilled a hole into my head. Okay. How in the world did that old bat get such secret piece of information? Present evidence. No. So no one else is supposed to know this secret information, correct? If that's true, then why would you know it, Miss Oldbag? Why are you looking at me like that? Stop that, witness. I hate to say it, but this is how you came to acquire your secret information, isn't it? It's this. Because this camera was stolen, and it's got the tabloid article. The victim was in the case, okay? There we go. Okay. That makes more sense. I was gonna say to you, I was like, bro, if it's not this, I don't know what it is. I don't know at all. Alright. The investigative photographer, Lotta Hart. Oh, yes, I remember that mischievous girl. She reported that she had lost a certain note she had written to herself. She reported such a thing? On that piece of paper, she had written down some of her our impressions about the relationship between the victim and Miss Andrews. What outrageous ideas you say? No, I said impressions. Then everything written on this paper is completely meaningless. Ah, that's it. That's the note. No! You see, this is something completely different. This is my top secret list of groceries to buy. Then you are the one who took Miss Hart's note. I'm a huge fan of Juan's, that's why. That infamous puffy-haired whippersnapper. She's working with that evil on guard. She said so herself, on guard. He's my sidekick. She was so happy, smiling like a silly duck. Ducks don't smile. Well, I guess they kind of do. They look like they're smiling. I was only checking with what she had written. Okay. Yeah, nobody buying that one. Yeah. Not even you yet. Go and put the helmet back on. Edgy Poo, you believe me, don't you? I was only trying to help out like the angel I am. It's only one little piece of paper. I've never taken anything else before. Really should come with a supply of cheese to match your vintage wine. Well, it was only a piece of paper. I suppose we can overlook this one. overlook this just once. She looks like she's really sorry. Should I forgive her? Hell no. If I let up on her now, she'll get away. I have to find some way to inflict a deafening blow to the prosecution. Witness. You said that the only thing you stole was that note. Is this correct? Stole? Why don't you listen more carefully, you annoying brat? I saved this piece of paper from the terrible, lonely trash can. That's all. You're lying, damn it, and I can prove it. Are you putting my credibility under scrutiny again? Miss Oldbag, I don't believe that the note is the only thing you stole that night. I actually don't know. She didn't steal this. That didn't happen. Or the knife. No. Could she have stolen the guitar? Which would be insane. Maybe she stole the guitar to get an autograph and that's why he was writing one for her. Because she took the guitar. Which would be nuts, by the way. Like, actually crazy. And she has access to the studio, I think. Unless she got fired or quit. I don't remember. But this is just the case, right? Tablet about the victim was in the case. She can't find her camera, so she took the camera too. I know that. This is fucking me up, bro. I can't save it. I'm about to lose like a chunk of life here, but whatever. We're gonna take the L on that. It's all good. I don't believe the note was the only thing that you stole that night. I'm gonna go with the camera first. Miss Oldbag. That note was with the camera inside its case, wasn't it? A camera. Yesterday, Lotta Hart was raising a huge stink over a camera. She kept saying something like, my sweetie, $1,600 camera, or $1,600 camera disappeared on me. Why? Why? Witness. What is it, Gramps? If you have the note, then it is only logical that you have the camera too. Sure. Looks like you found me out again, Sonny. Is this the camera you're looking for? That's... What? Even though I look like this, I'm still a person, you know. I still eat meals like you. I fall in love and borrow things from people. I think your definition of borrow is a little off. I saw that woman's business card, and that's when I noticed it. It said, slime bag celebrity photographer extraordinaire. Well, when I saw that, I had to know what sort of pictures she had taken. If I'm a professional security guard, it's my business to know these things. No. Bailiff, check this camera's photos, hurry. We must examine them at once. What we got? Well, Mr. Edgeworth, what do we have? This is the only photo that seems to be relevant to this case. Well, present it to the court. This is the Nickel Samurai. I'm looking at the bouquet of flowers because I remember one of them had less than the other. Okay, definitely walking out of the room. See, I told you. That's the guy I saw. This proves that the witness was not lying earlier about this matter. Right, Lotta's photo. Picture taken in the hallway right after the murder. Okay, let me examine that photo again. I want to look at it a little bit more. Got a lot of evidence. No way she saw the face. Can't see the legs at all. Everything appears to be right for the most part. I got the glove. Yeah, I don't see anything. I don't see anything weird right now. Alright, what does all this mean, Mr. Edgeworth? This photo by itself does not prove that the person in it is the defendant. However, in his own confession, Mr. Ungar clearly stated that it was the time of the murder he was still in his nickel samurai costume. If that is the case, then this nickel samurai is, yeah, the defendant. If he's in his costume at the time of the crime, and this is a picture of him walking out of the room, bro, he kind of cooked. But he could still have not done it. He still could have just been in the room. Could have happened after he left. How did it come to this? I think this brings us to the end. We have examined every piece of evidence thoroughly. Final comments, Mr. Wright. The court will consider them before we close. Do you agree that this photo is decisive evidence against your client? If this photo really is decisive, then we're done for. But if I raise an objection here and blow it, then I would put Maya's life in jeopardy. Okay. Time to save. I can't make a mistake here. There's only one road out of this mess. This photo that Lotta took, there's something strange with it. There's something strange with this photo. This is coming, right? Your thoughts, Mr. Edgeworth? I think we can all agree that there's nothing strange with this photo. There's no way for the defense to debunk this photo, even with a bunker buster. Debunk with a bunker buster. Is that what you're planning to do, Mr. Wright? I'm gonna get fucked right here. I don't think they're gonna let me look at this picture again, so let me just... Wave is on the bottom. No spear. Got the shoulder pad, got the ponytail. Looks like there's one bang, maybe two. Can't tell. Red dot in the center. Got the tie, got the long, super long ponytail. Alright. I'm going to pause, because I have my stream pulled up. I'm going to pause, and I'm going to have it on the screen so that I can still look at it. Let's go. Genius idea. Anyway, please look at the photo one more time. If you really believe you can honestly find something wrong with this photo, then you should only need one chance, correct? Well, I have to find something wrong with this photo. I can't... Oh, and there's no spear as well. I can't let this chance go by. Where in the heck did this photo take... Or did she take this photo from anyway? It's all out of focus. Why the heck can't she take a good shot, especially when it counts? Now then, let's hear your objection. Okay. Let's look. Only thing is I can't see the feet. And I can't see the arm either all the way. But I mean, it could just be behind them. Right? Ponytail is there. The red dot thing is there. The glove is there. Really long ponytail. Could it be the arm? Because I can't, there's no spear and I can't see the arm. Why can't I see the legs at all? Like, oh, it's this. Look. That's why I can't see the legs. The person wearing the costume isn't big enough to wear the costume. I was just talking about this the other day with somebody who was watching the stream. See how it's all baggy here and it's touching the ground? When he wears the costume, he doesn't touch the ground, so it doesn't fit the person wearing it. So it's got to be this. Let's go. Let's go. Come on now. Come on now. Stop playing with the boy. Come on now. I would like to direct the court's attention to this one area right here. What are you pointing to? His ankles? If you could see this person's ankles, that would be one thing. However, you can't. And what does that mean? The costumed person in this photo could not have been Mr. On Guard. What is the meaning of this? I wonder if you would care to elaborate with actual facts, that is. Let's take a look at the photo of the Nickel Samurai's poster. Please pay particular attention to the area around the bottom of the Hakama. Dude, I swear sometimes my brain will get it before I get it. Does that make sense? Like, I feel like I'm like dealing with two people sometimes. Like, I'll notice something immediately, but I won't know why I'm focused on it. No clue. And then I'll find out later why it's relevant. I was like, oh, that's why. Why are we not in sync? You know what I mean? Like, why did it take a second for me to fully grasp what was wrong? So weird. Please pay particular attention to this area around the bottom of the Hakama. His socks. You can see his socks. Exactly. However, in this photo, Nickel Samurai is clearly holding his Hakama up just to walk. Oh, I couldn't tell that from this. I couldn't tell he was holding it up. There's only one explanation for this. The person inside the costume is clearly much shorter than the defendant. Now we need to get people's height. They don't have that in the profiles. But the guys are usually pretty big in this game. Alright. I think I've turned things around for myself this time. That's curious. What is? Edward is unusually calm today. That's true. He's just letting the trial run itself, as if he's only along for the ride. Along for the ride? What do you mean by that? I can only guess that perhaps he doesn't feel under attack at all. He doesn't feel under attack. And I haven't damaged his case at all. Mr. Edgeworth, where does this leave us? If the person in the photo is not Mountain Guard, then everything the prosecution has tried to prove has become meaningless. I figured it would come to this. What? Right? I have something I want to ask you. I think you have proven that the person inside this costume is not Matt Ungar. In that case, who is this photo of? Person who was wearing the Nickel Samurai's costume. Don't stress over this, Phoenix. It's very simple. What you should be focused on is Edward's attitude. Don't you think? Yeah? Why is he so calm? Mr. Wright, let's hear your thoughts. Who is the person in this photograph? Okay. Now, it would have to be, at least I think it would have to be Adrian, right? The only reason I'm thrown off is because on the tomato or the wine glass, her fingerprints are on it. She could have just taken the glove off to get, you know, to touch the glass or whatever. But why would she do that? As smart as she is, maybe she couldn't grab the glass with the gloves because it was too big for her, so she couldn't like really get a grasp of it. So she took off the gloves. But again, still, why would she grab it at all? It didn't drink any of it. But they said it got placed on the Edgeworth said it got placed on the desk by her. So, and I think he knows it was her too. Let's go with her. Adrian Andrews. If you want to know who the Nickel Samurai is, it is none other than this woman. And why would you say it must be Miss Andrews? What in the world points you to her? For starters, she's short. And she can freely move in and out of Mr. Unguard's room. Finally, she had dinner with Mr. Unguard that night. And how does that all add up? It means that it makes it very easy for her to get a certain item. A certain knife with Mr. Unguard's fingerprints all over it. The knife that was used as a murder weapon. Why don't you just say what it is you want, right? I have to do this now. This is my last chance to turn things around. The defense moves to indict Miss Adrian Andrews in the murder of Juan Corda. It was Miss Andrews who tried to frame the defendant for the crime. That is his claim, that she tried to frame him for the crime, but he's not saying that she's the killer. When we did the psych log thing with her, she said that she didn't kill, that she couldn't be the one who killed Juan. That's what she said. And I feel like you can't lie when we're using psych logs. So she probably didn't actually kill him. Order, order, order. It looks like this trial has hit a most unexpected development. Mr. Edgeworth, yes, Your Honor. The court is issuing a subpoena for Miss Adrian Andrews. A verdict cannot be passed without first hearing her testimony. Alright, this is it. This is kind of bad for us. Huh? What do you mean? Adrian is summoned to the court as a witness. It means that the trial will go on for another day. One more day? If I don't get a verdict today, then Maya. Now then, we shall set Miss Andrews' testimony for tomorrow. I don't think I'm too worried about it. I mean, dramatic irony here, but I'm pretty sure Maya escaped. Wait and see, raise an objection. And you know, the assassin could for sure just lie and be like, yeah, she's still here to, you know, maintain his upper hand that he has, because we don't know she got out, and Maya probably has no idea how to get back to where we are without driving to us. I think Phoenix is probably one who drove her to the well, actually we don't even know where she is. I assume she was in the hotel somewhere, but she could be anywhere, to be honest. What am I supposed to do? The judge is about to adjourn the court. Now then, please, Your Honor, continue the trial. We must pass a verdict today. I can't do that. You cannot hear Miss Andrews' testimony. I abhor wasting such valuable time. Edgeworth? Your Honor, I request that you please continue with today's trial. But we cannot continue due to this unexpected development. This unexpected development. I think you underestimate me, Your Honor. What do you mean by that? That Mr. Phoenix Wright would slave his way to subpoenaing Miss Andrews, or Adrian Andrews, is all happening according to plan. Even if Wright was a bit slow to catch on. What? What? Yeah, I'm pretty sure he wanted us to bring her up at some point. That's why he gave us all the evidence anyway. Now that he's actually here, we can like get across what he was trying to prove in the first place. Ezra doesn't care about actually winning the case. He's trying to get the right person. What is the meaning of your statement, Mr. Edgeworth? Miss Adrian Andrews is currently waiting in the prosecutor's lobby. She is the next witness. Everything was planned out in advance by that man. Somehow I knew there was no way Edgeworth would overlook Miss Andrews. Looks like this battle is far from over. Exactly. Very well. We'll call the next witness. However, before we proceed, we shall take a 10-minute recess. Please prepare your witnesses, or please prepare your witness at that time, Mr. Edgeworth. The court will now take a 10-minute recess. Awesome. Perfect timing. Oh, man. That was an interesting one. That was fun. Honestly, a lot of stuff I could have picked to prove or get my point across. I can't really say that any of it was like unfair or anything like that. It's just like, this is a good case. This is a pretty good case so far. And nice that everything's kind of playing out pretty smoothly with the story. It's very interesting. And they're using different music too. Unless they've used some of these instrumentals before. Some of them sound unique, especially with Edgeworth. But man, I like this. Go run it back. I don't know what day specifically, because I know I'm really busy tomorrow. Maybe Sunday? Maybe Sunday. Tomorrow I got a match, so I can't stream. Be worn the fuck out. But thanks for watching. It's going to stretch way long. It's almost as long as... Oh, wow. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Well, we ain't finishing this shit on Sunday, I'll tell you that. But we'll definitely continue it. See ya.